Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you hear a dog barking, that's because there's a dog across the street that's been barking for like the past 20 minutes, and I don't know, it's like sort of raining outside. There's, I don't know, some neglecting owners. It's unfortunate, but I mean, now it's my problem. Anyways, so in the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super, chapter 77, we saw how the whole, invasion of Planet Cereal went down, right? Everywhere from what became of Granola's mother to how, Bardock stepped in and saved their lives, and also how Monaito became the guardian of the Dragon Balls. And what is the interesting thing about that is like, and for some reason no one is talking about it, like what happened to make Monaito lose the other Dragon Ball. No one's talking about that. There hasn't even been any mention of that in the story. This is another one of the reasons why I almost will guarantee that there is more flashback to be had in Dragon Ball Super Chapter 78, because you can't just like, that's way too big of a plot device to just leave, like, or plot hole rather, to just have out there in the open. It's like the current guardian gave Monaito the Dragon Balls, and then I guess in that exchange bestowed upon him the label of guardianship. I was wondering if maybe perhaps that, what if it's the possibility that the Nameks were mistaken, and it's like, oh, the fat guy who gave Monaito the balls, he wasn't actually the guardian of the Dragon Balls. He didn't produce them, and that the real guardian is out there in the planet somewhere, just hiding and lurking. Like, if you killed Monaito, the Dragon Balls will still exist. Just because we didn't really see an actual transition of the power. It was like very just like, here, hold this, and then it was like, okay, now you're the guardian. No tag backs, and it was. So I was like, well, what if he's not actually the guardian? But I mean, that's a different theory for a different video. Staying on this, it's like, so if you remember in the earlier chapters of the arc, Monaito and Granola in their house, they kept I believe it was the 1-star ball. They kept it on like sort of this little candlestick thing. Like, they kept it in their house. So it's like, we have this one ball, but we don't know where the other one is. It's been lost for, as they said, over 40 years. So it's like, if it's been lost for over 40 years, and that's the same time frame where, landing the invasion of Planet Cereal. So it's like, okay, so I guess they lost the ball that night. And it's like, well, how did they do that? Because, there's, I guess it's the options are, they either lost them in like some kind of escape, right? Like maybe Bardock yanked Monaito real quick, like, hey, we gotta go, and he just happened to drop one or two, and maybe he only recovered one. But it's like, it's his first night as the guardian of the Dragon Balls. I'd like to think he wouldn't go like, oh well, whoopsie, we dropped them, like, no, it's like, hey, Bardock, we have to go back, we have to go get these things, they're called Dragon Balls, they're very important. And it's like, if he did do that, that means Bardock would have known about the Dragon Balls. That means that people might have heard that on the Scouter. It means, all the things that happened in the Saiyan saga. The cat would have been out the bag about the Dragon Balls a long time ago if that happened, right? So that's most likely not what happened. So it's like, the other option is that that you could say that the Heaters stole them from him, but then that would, that runs into the whole plot hole. The Heaters just learned about the Dragon Balls, so like in the power they have and all that stuff. So I mean, so yeah, it's like they clearly didn't take the balls. It's not like Gas followed them and then took the balls in exchange for them getting away or something like that. Like, that's not what happened either. So it's like, okay, so how did they lose the second ball? And the other only option I'm thinking is that a wish was made. A wish was made on the Dragon Balls, and they only recovered one in all that time. So, but it's like, okay, so what would Monaito wish for? Like I said, it can't have been Bardock who made a wish, because he would have known about the Dragon Balls, and then the Saiyans would have known, Frieza would have known. So it's like the whole domino effect. So it had to have been the Monaito who made a wish in private. And maybe this is why he's very, into the idea that the Dragon Balls aren't meant to be, you know, wish for revenge. Like, they're not for taking revenge and all these things. Like, so it's just like, I don't know. It's like, what would he wish for? It's possible he had every intention of wishing everyone back, but then for some reason he didn't, due to some, spiritual or quote unquote religious, reason for the Nameks. Maybe he called Tarumbo and then was like, you know what, I can't do this. This isn't what the Dragon Balls are for. And, it's just like, okay, yeah, I can't do this. And then the ball scattered, but he found one eventually. Since they don't go inert, he found one like almost a couple days or weeks later, but he just never found the other one because he didn't want to be tempted to, to make a wish. So, like, that's possible what happened. That's a possible theory, but I mean, it's just that it's really curious why no one is talking about this. Because it's such a big, I mean, these are some overpowered Dragon Balls. And for them to just, for one, or, for them just to go disappearing like that, it's, that's not something that can't be addressed. So I hope they do. I hope in Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 78, releasing on November 19th, I've been saying November 20th, but it's actually the 19th. I hope we get some revelations as to, a previous wish on the Dragon Balls and, I mean, Monaito's already, like, in so much, trouble with Granola, the readers, like, just the whole universe is like, this guy, like, dude, you had one job, you, like, oh my God, this all could have been cleared up so long ago, and, like, just so unnecessary. All of these things are so unnecessary when it's like, all you had to do was just tell the truth. And say what's going on. So it's like, yeah, there could be even bigger revelations as to, it's not only that, he kept this from them, that he kept this from Granola, rather, like everything that happened back then. But then it's like, you had the Dragon Balls. You could have, wished all of our people back to life. It's like, why didn't you? I'm gonna be doing a video next week talking about just how Monaito can redeem himself, like his redemption arc, his little mini arc within the story, because that has to happen. Because you had both Dragon Balls, and like that's not even taking revenge. That's not like doing any harm to the Saiyans or Frieza or the Heaters. That's just bringing people back to life and getting another chance, giving people another chance. There's hope in that. That's hope, that's optimism, that's love, that is in no way revenge. So it's like, why wouldn't you do that? So, yeah, I'm curious to see what his explanation for that is. I guarantee you guys, there is another flashback coming in Chapter 78, and it's going to have bigger, there's going to be a lot more going on outside of the fight between Bardock and Gas, so it's shaping up to be a great chapter. So long as they don't try to just walk past this plot hole rather, and not address the issue, this is going to be a great chapter, because you're going to have to deal with Granola dealing with the fact that Monaito kept all this from him, that he had the power to bring back all his people and didn't do it for whatever reason, what became of the second Dragon Ball, and just how that all went down. Like, again, I'm going with he went for a wish, but he didn't pull the trigger. That's my official theory, just because the Heaters and the Saiyans didn't know about the Dragon Ball. So, and he would just, and he would have to be super incompetent to have just actually lost it, and in the first few weeks of being the guardian of the Dragon Ball. But yeah, we're gonna have to deal with Monaito coming clean on everything that happened and how Granola is going to deal that. Like, can he still accept him as a friend, as family? Is that possible for him? And how does Granola deal with this? How does he treat the Saiyans differently, Goku and Vegeta? Because the Saiyans still wiped out his family. It's like, yeah, it's cool that one Saiyan who happened to be your father, Goku, took pity on us and took mercy, but he still kind of just abandoned us on the planet. He just left us there, to fend for ourselves. And I mean, Bardock's kind of in a bind. I mean, I get why he couldn't take them, but still, it's like, hey, it's not like he's just some, some superhero that swooped in and saved us from these villains. No, you are the villain, and we just caught you on a good day, So it's like the Saiyans still wiped out my family. Like, Granola's really gonna be in a spot here. They Toyotaro and Toriyama have definitely written him into a corner and like of just emotions and despair and confusion. And I really hope they don't run away from that and just deal with let us face that just conflict and inner struggle that Granola is about to be put through. But hey, what do you think? What do you think became of the second Dragon Ball? How do you think Monaito lost it? Do you think the Heaters, knew about the Dragon Balls, but they just didn't think they could find it? Do you think that the Bardock knew about the Dragon Balls and maybe he just didn't feel the need to share that information with anybody because he thought it could just bring them more trouble or whatever, which I guess doubles down on that whole why is Bardock so good now thing. Why does he care? But hey, these are all possible theories and options, and we just all gotta wait till November 19th to find out. So yeah, leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.